Well, Junior and I are back in the shop and we're working on the manual swap Crown Vic. And we're not doing just any ordinary mod to this car. We're doing a one-of-a-kind mod to this car. So stay tuned. So you guys know that a while back, Junior and I went to Prince Edward Island on a Sunday and we trailered this car home. It wasn't running very well. It now runs better. It runs better. We've actually had it on the road. Junior's done some upgrades to it as far as suspension, a few little things. We still got lots of work to do to this car to get it actually roadworthy. But when I was away in Indianapolis for PRI, I met up with a buddy of mine, Travis Bell, who has connections. And when we were there, I just happened to see this thing leaned up in the corner of his garage, and I asked him about it, and he wouldn't give me a straight answer. But at the end of the day, before we were getting ready to leave, he said, look, I'll give you this, but how are you going to get it home? And of course, I was there with John, my co-host of the Get Out and Drive podcast. And I said, look, I'll give it to John, and John can ship it back to Maine, which is right across the border from where I live. And we managed to get this, and Junior had no idea. So I told him to go into my room and grab this big wrapped up box, and he pulled it out. He had no clue what it was. And when he did finally open it, his mother was worried that it wasn't going to be anything special.
No, it's something special.
It's something special. Let's take a look and we'll show you what it is that Junior's got, and he'll tell you what it is.
Well, it's a spoiler off of one of Cleetus McFarland's Crown Vic race cars from, what, the Indy race? Last Indy race?
Cleetus and Cars Indy.
Yeah, Cleetus and Cars Indy. It was on, was it the car?
It was Brent from PFI Speed. That's why it's got a sticker on it.
Speed, yeah.
And we don't know if it was that race or not. I can't confirm that because I went back and we looked at the videos from Cleetus and Cars, and we can't.
I'm almost sure there's a clip of it out there somewhere, but I mean, he has so many of those cars that have the same spoiler. I mean, it's hard to know.
It's hard to know for sure. But anyways, this is what we've got. We have got a spoiler from a Crown Vic from Cleetus McFarland. Like, how cool is that?
And like, you think you can get your hands on one of these? It's pretty next to impossible unless you maybe like stole one at Cleetus and Cars, or I don't know, somehow talk your way into it from one of the guys who build these or make these or whatever. But it's, I don't know, I don't even know how he managed to get it, but it's awesome either way, and it's going to go on that car no matter what.
The one contingency that Travis gave me when he actually gave me this spoiler was, if you've got a use for it. And well, we've got Junior's car, and this Crown Vic that sits behind me, this manual swap Crown Vic, it's going to be a hooner. So what better way to represent than with a custom spoiler? Yes, Crown Vics are everywhere. Everybody has a Crown Vic. Not everybody, but there's lots of them out there. And a lot of the same mods are done. Mustang wheels, lowering suspension, big loud exhaust. But I guarantee you, we are in New Brunswick, Canada. I guarantee you there's not another one for 1,000 miles or more. That's gonna have one of these spoilers on this car.
As you see it too, is how it's going to go on the car. I don't care if it has that blue paint or whatever on it. That's just the character of it. If I don't like it, which I'm going to like it, but if I don't like it, I don't mind drilling holes in the trunk because I've got another white trunk behind the garage.
Yeah, so we've got the new Riv Nut toolkit that I picked up, and we actually used it to mount something onto the Yugo, and we're going to be using that to mount each of these 8 mounting locations on the trunk of the car. Let's go back to the trunk with the spoiler, and we'll show you some of the challenges that we're up against. So as you can tell by looking down this thing, this is straight. The trunk lid on a Crown Vic is curved 2 directions. One, it's curved from left to right, but it's also curved from top to bottom. So when we go to get this thing on here, we've got to try and get it centered here, but also make it bend on the corners so that when we go to mount this thing, it actually mounts that way. Now, I'm not sure if it's supposed to mount this way, kiddo.
No, it's supposed to mount that way.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures.
Because it would install a hell of a lot easier this way.
Well,
But yeah, no, it is. This is the way that they had them mounted, and we've got to make sure that we get this thing centered properly and mounted on the car, and get our riv nuts drilled in the right locations, because obviously we don't want this thing full of holes. So we're gonna go grab a measuring tape and see if we can't get this thing mounted with some clamps onto the trunklet. So we'll be right back. So I'm just holding this down with my hands, and according to Junior, this is exactly what it looks like on the cars. So we're gonna have to center it up, and it's gonna be a little bit of there's gonna be a little bit of tension on these riv nuts, because if you come back here, Junior, with the camera, I'm holding down flush at the ends, but each of those tabs is sticking up quite a bit. So by the time we get these things mounted properly, they are going to be, there's going to be some tension on those. And it looks like to me, I can almost see like threads where they might have used self-tappers. I'm not sure if that's how Cleetus
I mean, they're putting them on cars that are probably going to get wrecked anyway, so why does it matter?
So why does it matter? We want it secure. We don't want this thing flying off. We don't want to lose this going down the highway. So,
no.
Anyways, we're going to make a few marks, get this thing clamped up. We'll be right back. So what we're trying to do here is we're going to try and bend these tabs back a little bit so that they fit better. We already did this one here, and it fit better. So we're going to try and get this bent up so that at least those are laying flat against the trunk when we go to put them on. So. And because it's aluminum, the aluminum usually only bends one way. We don't want to bend this seam here, because if we do, they may snap off. And then we're screwed. So.
Do a test fit that.
Yeah, it's not bent quite as far. We'll try it a little bit more, and then we'll get it over to the car. And make sure that it's...
Now, I wonder when I have this on the car and the car actually on the road, I wonder if people will actually recognize what it is.
There's going to be some people that will, because obviously they know who PFI Speed is. They follow that channel, but they'll know exactly where the spoiler comes from if they watch Cleetus McFarland.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, how the hell did he get one of those?
Yeah, I'm worried about it getting stolen.
It's a genuine car.
When we get it mounted on that car, we should put a bunch of Loctite in there, so it's like permanent.
All right, so we're going to put this on. Just hold it by hand, like we did before. Yeah, see those two center ones?
Perfect.
I think those are pretty close to where we need to be. So this one doesn't have to go as far as that, and this one won't have to go as far as this one.
No.
So we'll try and get those bent down a little bit more, and we'll just kind of have to use the old laser eye.
Yeah.
And see if we can't get that going. Then we'll clamp it down one more time, get it centered in the trunk, mark the holes, then we can start.
Well, that seems to be the most challenging thing about it, is just getting those tabs bent in the proper way.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. So what I did too was I just kind of measured up 1 3/4 inches from the bottom, so that way we can stay hopefully in that same area the whole way across for making those bends, and at least it looks somewhat professional. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got this thing mounted, and we've got all of our holes marked all the way across. And I think it's centered. We kind of went by the Ford logo and then tried to make sure that we were the equidistant on each end over here. I don't know, Junior. I think we're ready to...
They do have that like slight bit of lean in.
Yeah, well, of course, the trunk's up about 1 inch or so on the back, but like, that's going to scoop some air.
Well, I posted on the forum, the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And guys, I was saying that I'm going to be installing this. They said, no, show us pictures when you're done, blah, blah, blah. And one guy's like, it's going to be functional. I'm like, I would hope so.
I mean, they're functional. They're not going to be functional anything under $120, $130.
Going in this thing?
Right? I mean, that's what our speed limits here is 110 on the highways, which is kilometers. So we're talking
The speed limit.
like at 75 miles an hour, we're always doing the speed limit. But Mexico is like 5 miles down the road. So
that's
no speed limit in Mexico.
We'll feel it squat.
Right? All right. So I think now we're going to, we'll get our nut cert kit, the drill. We'll start drilling some holes and see what we can make of it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Good.
All right. You trust your old man?
Sure.
Well, get a close up on that marking. Whereabouts is that is center on that anyway?
Maybe right there. I'd say just aim for the center.
Aim for the center. That looks good. Oh. Aim for a penny, in for a pound.
Well, there's the first hole.
I don't even know how big a hole we're going to need. Let's grab one of those nut start thingies.
Probably getting pretty close where we need it.
I think we got to go at least 2 more steps.
Maybe a little, one more.
One more might be too
So what,
big.
four steps?
Probably should have tested this on a piece of scrap metal first, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's a Ford. I can't say that. It's the best Ford ever made.
All right, so that's in there.
Yeah, there we go.
So the bolts that we had laying around in a kit that Junior got me, I think, for my birthday or for Christmas one year or something.
I think it was for, yeah, for your birthday, I think.
Anyways, M6, so the metric. And so all we're gonna do is just screw that into the hole till it bottoms out, like so. And then when we squeeze this, we spread it out,
Boom, we have threads.
and just like that, it seems to be in there, solid. All right, 1 down and 7 more to go. So I think what we should do is do these 2 here first and see if they line up. Millennials.
I'm trying to put it on silent so people stop blowing up my phone.
Yeah, there you go, drop it. That one lines up. The first one lines up.
I hope. Making strides.
Call that good.
Yeah, perfect. She's good.
That
Don't even bother torquing that one
one's
down
off.
over there
This
either.
one's off just a little bit.
one's perfect.
That one looks good. This one looks good. That one's got to open up a little bit.
We're all within there. You're good.
Within spec.
Within spec.
Within spec.
We can make it work.
So this one here is off a little bit. I can't drill without my bit. Shut up, Brian.
Oh yeah. Ain't going nowhere.
That ain't going nowhere. Hey Alex, what is it?
Fucking me. That's all that is.
It is. That ain't going nowhere. All right, let's clean up our tools. See if we can get some pictures.
So we need to add the nitrous light. So when they are in race days, these curves.
Oh,
they have
right,
nitrous.
yes, because they had the button.
They have a light, little like a plow light or something like
Yep.
that. Orange light that will flash when they're hitting the nitrous button. So it shows that they're using their nitrous.
Well, we can't add the nitrous light without
Nitrous.
nitrous. I mean, we gotta do nitrous on this car.
I think it'd be worth it.
Like 50 shot at least.
Well, I think that's all they use is
Yeah.
a shot, and then they're not.
It lasts for what, 10 seconds or something like that when they press the button?
I can't remember how long they have, but they got like 30 seconds worth of.
30 seconds worth, but every shot I think was like 10 seconds or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
good idea. We could do that.
I know. Do it.
NOS, if you guys are watching this video, which you're probably not, but we're gonna make sure we tag you, hook us up. We'd love to put nitrous on this Crown Vic and cruise around Canada in a manual swap Crown Victoria. Let's do it. Hit me up. Okay, so we've got Junior's Crown Vic here, the manual swap Crown Vic, and we've got this Cleetus Cars aluminum spoiler that was on the PFI Speed Crown Vic during Cleetus Cars Indy. big shout out to my buddy Travis Bell, who let me take advantage of him having this and him not having anything to put it on. And I've got a whole fleet of them. So Junior's got it on here. And I mean, man, this thing is mounted firm. Like, it ain't going nowhere. And I just did a quick short video that you guys may have already seen. This thing's going to be doing the Carolina squat going down the highway. It's going to be so much downforce on the back of this thing. And I think Junior's pretty stoked about it. I think he's pretty excited to get this thing out the highway. What do you think?
Looks like just to drive the thing.
Yeah. So we got a few more things to do to this car. You guys will be coming along as we do some of it. Most importantly, rocker panels. We got to do and some floor repairs. So we'll be getting this done so that we can get it inspected, and so Junior can get out and rip up the streets with this thing. So make sure you're tuned into Olde Carr Guy, and if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Stay focused on the windshield, not the rearview mirror. I love you guys. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.